Are you ready for another story? Tonight we're going to read Scaredy Squirrel. This is the first Scaredy Squirrel book. There's a whole bunch of them, but this is the very first one. It's by Melanie Watt. Are you ready? Scaredy Squirrel. Scaredy Squirrel never leaves his nut tree. He'd rather stay in his safe and familiar tree than risk venturing out into the unknown. The unknown can be a scary place for a squirrel. A few things Scaredy Squirrel is afraid of: green Martians, killer bees, tarantulas, poison ivy, germs, and sharks. So he's perfectly happy to stay right where he is. The advantages of never leaving the nut tree: a great view, plenty of nuts, a safe place, and no tarantulas, poison ivy, green Martians, killer bees, germs, or sharks. The disadvantages of never leaving the nut tree: same old view, same old nuts, same old place. In Scaredy Squirrel's nut tree, every day is the same. Everything is predictable. All is under control. Scaredy Squirrel's daily routine: 6:45, wake up. 7, eat a nut. 7:15, look at view. 12 noon, eat a nut. 12:30, look at view. 5 o'clock, eat a nut. 5:31, look at view. 8 o'clock, go to sleep. But let's say, just for example, that something unexpected did happen. You can rest assured that this squirrel is prepared. A few items in Scaredy Squirrel's emergency kit: hard hat, antibacterial soap, calamine lotion, a parachute, bug spray, mask and rubber gloves, a net, a Band-Aid, and some sardines. What to do in case of emergency according to Scaredy Squirrel: Step 1, panic. Step 2, run. Step 3, get kit. Step 4, put on kit. Step 5, consult exit plan. Step 6, exit tree if there is absolutely, definitely, truly no other option. This is a dramatization. Exit plan, top secret. Exit 1, note to self: watch out for green Martians and killer bees in the sky. Exit 2, note to self: do not land in river. If unavoidable, use sardines to distract sharks. Exit 3, note to self: look out for poison ivy and for tarantulas roaming the ground. Exit 4, note to self: keep in mind that germs are everywhere. Remember, if all else fails, playing dead is always a good option. With his emergency kit in hand, Scaredy Squirrel watches. Day after day he watches, until one day, on Thursday at 9:37 a.m., a killer bee appears. Scaredy Squirrel jumps in panic, knocking his emergency kit out of the tree. This was not part of the plan. Scaredy Squirrel jumps to catch his kit. He quickly regrets this idea. The parachute is in the kit, but something incredible happens. He starts to glide. Scaredy Squirrel is no ordinary squirrel. He's a flying squirrel. He feels overjoyed, adventurous, carefree, alive. Scaredy Squirrel forgets all about the killer bee, not to mention the tarantulas, poison ivy, green Martians, germs, and sharks, until he lands in a bush and plays dead. 30 minutes later, 1 hour later, 2 hours later, finally, Scaredy Squirrel realizes that nothing horrible is happening in the unknown today, so he returns to his nut tree. All of this excitement has inspired Scaredy Squirrel to make drastic changes to his life. Scaredy Squirrel's new and improved daily routine: 6:45, wake up. 7 o'clock, eat a nut. 7:15, look at view. 9:37 a.m., jump into the unknown. 9:45, play dead. 11:45, return home. 12 noon, eat a nut. 12:30, look at view. 5 o'clock, eat a nut. 5:31, look at view. 8 o'clock, go to sleep. P.S. As for the emergency kit, Scaredy Squirrel is in no hurry to pick it up just yet, 'cause it's in poison ivy. The end.
Poor Scaredy Squirrel. He was so afraid. He was so afraid he couldn't go out. And that meant he stayed in the same place and did the same thing every day. And that's boring. The reason this story appealed to me is because right now a lot of us have had to stay home. We had to stay home because of this coronavirus. But I hope we're not staying home because we're afraid of it. I hope we're staying home because we want to keep others from getting sick. There's a difference between living in fear that keeps us from doing anything that makes our lives boring and being cautious in order to protect and help others. We're at a time now when some of our leaders say it's okay to go out and do certain things, but we still need to be careful. Let's do what we do not out of fear. Let's don't be a scaredy squirrel. Let's make sure that we still have adventures, but let's also take care of one another. Let's be careful not to make each other sick. Let's follow what our leaders tell us to do to keep each other safe. That's the way we're supposed to live. Being scared all the time keeps us from trusting God, and that's a bad way to be. Trusting God is how we get rid of fear. That's called faith. And Jesus over and over called his friends to have faith, to trust in God and not be afraid. And do you know why Jesus wants you to trust in God and not be afraid? Sure you do. 'Cause he loves us this much. So God bless you. God bless you. You remember that you are the beloved child he created you to be. Good night.